The temperature, well, as it rises, many gardening enthusiasts will be heading back outdoors, of course, to plant the season's garden, or maybe that fresh flower bed. Well, one of our viewers, Vicki Scott, she wrote into us to see if we might be able to share maybe a few gardening tips. Well, Vicki, I don't have what you would call a green thumb, but I did find someone who is an expert. And this morning we have Doug Conley joining us. He is there at the Botanical Gardens. He's the horticulture director. I cannot thank you enough for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You know, this is a perfect start time for any gardener.
You know, I think so. With all the rain, that's a good thing too, right?
It's been great. The warm temperatures, timely rains, even if you were trying to get to the gym, it was nice to get a little bit of rain. These kind of warm temp rains warm the soil, which really wakes the garden up.
Well, and okay, so waking up the garden. So I'm just going, I mean, I am not a gardener. I'm not a planter of any kind. I can't keep anything alive, unfortunately. But for those getting started, what's the first thing that we need to do? What do we need to have on hand, tool-wise?
Well, the first thing is, I think, recognizing what you're looking to do as a gardener. Are you looking for pretty flowers? Do you want a tree in your yard? Do you just want to put your hands in the soil and those kind of things? So it's knowing those situations. And we talked earlier about your situation in an apartment without a deck. How can you do container gardening in your home? What is that piece? So you're going to have some automatic limitations, but what is it you're really trying to achieve? And if it's just getting your hands in the soil, that's easily done no matter where you live.
Okay, so for those homeowners, they have their bed, they have it laid out. What tools do you need? I know you brought quite a bit with you this morning.
I brought a few of my favorite things. So, you know, first and foremost, I know you want to we gardeners like to put our hands in the soil, but a decent pair of gloves for certain activities.
Okay.
And there's a great variety of those. Pruners. These happen to be Felcos. These are high-quality pruners, and I know many gardeners who have lifetime relationships with a single pair of Felcos. These can be used for deadheading flowers, for pruning your trees and branches.
So long-lasting, this is something that you can buy once and you're going to have it for a while.
It is, that's right, and it's also, the parts are replaceable, so if you wear something out, you can get those pieces, but it's also easy to use.
Okay, well, that's good to know. What about this handy-dandy tool?
Well, we've got the pouch to carry around all your goodies, and then, of course, if you like, here's a folding saw. And I'm embarrassed, if you buy one for your gardening friends, get 2 blades, because we frequently break the tips on these during putting them to work.
Okay.
But this is really for pruning your trees and shrubs during the dormant season.
Okay. And then, of course, you have a shovel.
And, of course, a garden spade, a digging spade is really what you need. This is a gift from a friend. It's a treasured piece because, it's a high-quality tool that will last us a lifetime. My wife and I are both gardeners, and this shovel will work. We actually fight for this shovel. So.
Hopefully a nice fight.
Well, yeah, we try to get up earlier and beat the other person to it. That's exactly right.
I like that. That's funny. Now, how much would this cost someone?
Well, it varies. I mean, a pair of the Felcos really are probably a $50 or $60 pair of pruners, which can be pricey for some folks. The soil knife, which is an invaluable tool, if you're only buying one of these things, I think if this is what you need, these are around $30 to get a high quality one that can stand up to the kind of gardening you're doing. And a digging spade is, you know, it could be $80 for something like that.
But this is something you're only going to spend that money one time. And I do believe we have some video, and because we were talking when I was out at the Botanical Gardens, that you have different soil that you could use, or with the different plants. How does that work? And I guess as far as gardeners putting stuff in, what do they need to know?
Well, I think if you're container gardening, so if you've got pots on your deck or in your home, you really need to look at what kind of soil media fits what you're trying to grow. If you're trying to grow an orchid, you certainly don't want to use a heavy potting mix that you would use for your annuals display or vegetables. If you're gardening in your yard, what you want is a loamy soil, good tilth, and those things. And one of the ways you can improve that soil is adding and turning compost into your soils to improve that.
Okay, we are nowhere near done, so let me just tell you, luckily for us, Doug's going to come back during our 6:30 half hour. Not only are we going to talk about more things that you need to know for both your vegetable garden and your flower garden, but also what you all have on hand at Botanical Gardens right here, that's so conveniently located for all of those who want to learn a little bit more. So we do look forward to seeing you in just a little bit. Time right now, it is